is Happy Crafting. Today I'm going to show you how I do my wood grain cups. I have my alcohol ink that you can get at Michael's. Well, that's where I got this one, is at Michael's. Online, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, any craft store. This one is the espresso. And I also have the butterscotch. I don't know if you can see that. I'm only going to use one today. I'm going to use the espresso ink. You will need a tumbler and spray paint it white. And Lowe's Hardware carries 1-inch bristle brushes. These work really well to give the wood grain effect to that. I also will be showing you how I do my knots. So let's get started. So I just at the top here drizzled down a line and just brush up or down, and I just keep brushing until it dries. And just a tiny little drop here. And you just work. Go ahead and do the bottom. If it drips down the bottom, which mine usually do. One good thing, especially if you're working in an area that you need to cover, please make sure you cover, because working with this bristle brush flicks the paint everywhere. So you definitely want to make sure it's covered. So now I'm going to apply again. And this you can work however you want. To make it look however you want. This is really anybody. I thought I had a mishap on one, and it actually turned out really well. And I can show you guys at the end of the video what it turned out, how it turned out. So this basically is how you go about doing the wood grain effect. And it is just a play along with, do whatever pattern you want to do. It's actually pretty fun once you get the hang of it on your designs and how they come out. So here's, so far, I like the long looking wood grain. I guess that's, you know, the bark as I guess it would be. I like the long ones. You can do short ones, which I can show you. Well, like, you know, like this one right here is real short. You can definitely play along, add more in one spot than the others. And if you think you've messed up in a spot, if you just add just a little bit, it spreads and it lets you, you know, move the ink around just for a few minutes. It dries pretty quickly, especially if you're moving it around. But I mean, you work with it however it is your imagination. Let it go wild. Because no tree is ever the same. You don't ever see a tree that has different, you know, or perfect looking bark. So it's just a play along and see what comes up. So I think I will do a knot right here. So I left a little space right here, and I believe that'd be a good spot for a knot. You can place them wherever. You can have multiples, you can have just one. It is however many. So what I like to do is just hold the cup level and just dot. Then I take my brush and I just kind of move it around to where it just kind of starts forming, not a perfect circle. Just let it spread. So you just let it spread. So that looks pretty good. Let it dry. And then same color. I'm not going to use two different colors. You can do multiple colors. It's really up to you. But I like the one color because once you mix them, you can tell that it changes the color. So it looks like I've used two colors, but I haven't. I've only used one. So let's, in the same circle or knot, add one drop in the middle and just let it spread out. I just move the ink around just a little bit more. Towards the middle because I don't want it to be too much. So there you go. And if you want to do one more right before it dries, it will make a ring and that will lighten up just a little bit. And that gives a really good effect when you move the brush around of like the wood. Oh, that's so pretty. Can y'all see that? Oh, that's so pretty. And that's really all it is for the wood grain or for the knots. I blow on it just to dry it kind of quickly, and that gives it a whole nother element. So there you go, there's one knot. I don't know if that's easy to see in the phone camera. I can't tell if you guys can see that, but it's beautiful. And then you just continue with your wood bark. This paint that I have, this white paint on this cup, is actually a gloss. I've found that the gloss paint works really well in spreading the inks better. I know some people don't like the gloss and they want flat, but when I did that, the paint dried so fast that I wasn't able to move the ink around. Just continue, and however you want it to look after you're done. If there's certain spots that you want to add more bark looking areas or knots, you are, have at it. Fix this little spot here. Do some of the bottom here. Sometimes tend to forget about the bottom. You don't have to do the bottom. If you have your logo sticker that you want to do instead of painting, you can, definitely put that on the bottom. I've done that with several of my other cups. And then what I normally do on the wood grain cups especially is I put a knot on the bottom of the cup. I think that's really cool looking when that. So let's see. All I do is just a drop in the middle and just let it spread. Just kind of move it around, let it spread. If you want it really big, just move it, circle it around, let the ink spread out further. There you go. And then just add another drop. I just think that's the coolest thing, is when it makes the ring. I'm going to bring that back in. You don't have to. You can play around however you want it to look. Dry. There you go. A knot on the bottom. Okay, and then you'll just finish the whole cup however you like. I like to be a little more tedious with how my cup looks, so I play around a little bit longer with mine. If you have any questions, comments, please please comment, in the comments below, and I will answer those as soon as I can. There we go, guys. I think I'm gonna fix this little spot here. You can go longer strokes like this. Yeah. Or short. It's really however you want your cup to look. And that's it for wood grain and knots. Super simple. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.